Nobody would have thought that I would be the one. Rhyner, sports talk.
Baseball, 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 baseball.
Oh, with the big mic. Oh, okay. All right, yeah. Okay, now I get it.
We got a lightning strike, boys. What happened over there, Grego? We had a little lightning strike right outside the window.
The Texas Rangers win the World Series.
All right. Here's a tip for all these Americano League teams.
Wait, you said tip?
Yeah, tip.
Okay.
With a P.
Keep jamming.
The ticket, colon, nothing but a big Gen X jerk-off sale.
This is a cool night or what?
Although somebody would hear that and go, bullshit.
I'm back, bitches.
Hey there, it's Mike Rhyner of Your Dark Companion here. This is New Year's Day. We hope you made it out of New Year's Eve in fine fettle, and that you are ready to rock on with us here at Your Dark Companion all throughout this coming year. But first, let's talk about today. Let's talk about what you're going to get from us today. It is best of time. And what you are going to see today is the best stuff out of all 70 episodes of Your Dark Companion that we have strung together for you this year. So we hope you enjoy this. Again, we thank you very much for checking us out here at Your Dark Companion and all the other shows that you check out in the Sunset Lounge. It's been a good year for us as we've gotten this venture up and running, but we're far from done. So now it's 2025. Let's rock.
Well. What have we here? Why, it looks like something they call a podcast. Something that was impossible to do mere years ago. Not decades, mere years ago. And now they happen all the time, and this is one that's happening again. This is Your Dark Companion. We are back for another round. I would be Mike Rhyner, the chief cook and bottle washer up in here. And we're glad you're with us. This is our maiden voyage on Your Dark Companion 2. I used to do this a few years ago at another place. And we reached a point where it's time to get back in the radio game, so I kind of let podcasts go. But now radio is gone, and I'm back to podcasts. And you know what? I'm going to stay here. What we're going to do here is basically just shoot the bull with whomever and whatever I want to shoot it about and with. I'm lucky. I've been lucky in this work because I have a fascinating network, fascinating, highly intriguing people, many of whom have stories of their own to tell. And my plan is to bring them on and talk to them about what they do, how they do it. I plan to make them sort of a co-host situation. Not going to be interview per se, although I'm sure for some of them it may fall into that. But I want somebody who can come in here and make this a well-rounded conversation, and I can scarcely think of anybody better to do that than the man we're starting this thing off with today. He is Greg the Hammer Williams.
Now, I can think of a lot of people that would be better than me,
I can think of no one.
but I'm glad to be. I'm glad to be.
Well, I'm glad to have you.
And
It's good to see you once again.
and to be honest, I don't know how to act around.
Why?
I don't know.
Act the way you always did.
I mean, I've been waiting for this moment for a long time. Long.
Well, I'm still basically the same old horse's ass I always was.
I
So
wouldn't
people
have it.
tell me.
I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, some people are just better off being an ass.
Yeah.
That's me. I mean, I wouldn't be a regular person. I've got to be an ass.
Well,
and I kind of thought,
I just be what I am. If that's an ass, that's an ass.
Yeah.
If it's not, it's not. I just be what I am. If you
But-
like it, you like it. You don't, you don't.
unbelievable.
Well, I'm
You
glad
could've-
to have you.
You could have picked a bunch of people, and to extend that. I don't even want to say olive branch. You don't owe me an olive branch, but, to invite me on here. I mean, there's no doubt I was going to do. Just nervous. That's all. I'm still nervous. Look at my hands. I'm shaking like a leaf on a tree.
Relax.
I know
relax. It's all good. All good here.
Time for us to let you in on a little something that we've been keeping from you. Very excited about this. We're still in the very formative stages of this thing. We don't have everything ironed out just yet. We know that. It is a work in progress. It'll get better as it goes along. Everybody will get better as it goes along. That includes me. That includes the ladies. That includes everybody. And it also includes the new guy who is coming on board today. Who could it be? There he is. It is Shoopy. Shoopy.
How are we?
We are great. We are glad to have you as part of your dark companion.
I never would have thought.
I never would have thought either, Shoopy. Never would have. But you're here.
Times are good.
Times are good.
Oh my God. OMG.
LOL.
I like doing radio without shoes.
I do too.
Yeah.
I like doing radio without pants, which you can do in here if you want them.
I think we technically are.
Yeah, we are. So you're here.
Somehow, some way.
What are you going to do, Shoopy?
I really don't know yet, but I think we're going to have some fun. I think I'm going to talk a little bit, play a few drops when we start to build an arsenal and try to just help make this thing fly.
Just like the old days.
Just like the old days.
Except you will be a little bit more involved on the talking front than you've ever been before.
Which could
and
be good
I'm
or bad.
excited about that.
Well, if you're excited, then I'm excited.
Yes, I am excited about it. Because I want all mics on at all time.
Okay.
Around here.
I'll be turned on.
Just like the old days. I'll be turned on too. It is another episode of Your Dark Companion. And I'm glad somebody is keeping count of these because I've kind of lost count. But they tell me that this is episode 10 of Your Dark Companion. We've hit double figures. I consider that an accomplishment in view of the fact that, well, look here. We're joined by a very special guest today. Wow.
You surprised?
Now, I was told nothing about, we are still rolling, aren't we? Okay. I was told nothing about what was going on here today. They told me we were doing a podcast, and I thought, well, that's kind of odd in view of the fact that I've made no effort to get anybody in here for it. So I didn't know what was up. They said, don't worry about it. Just roll with it. You'll be fine. I got kind of uptight because normally I like to do a little bit of prep work for these things. But as things have turned out, I don't need much prep at all for this, I don't think.
Are you surprised?
Extremely.
You had no idea?
No.
No possible
No idea.
thought.
No idea. I thought it might be, but then I thought if it was you, and the you here is my young daughter. This is Jordan Burris joining us today. You look lovely.
Thank you.
But no, I had no idea. I had no clue as to what was up here. I just knew something was because they said we're doing a podcast. They wouldn't tell me what. I said, I haven't gotten anybody on board for this. They said, don't worry about it. So
Well, here we are.
here we
Father's
are.
Day special.
Yes, the Father's Day special. For those who may not know, this is my young daughter,
Hi, everyone.
the joy of my existence for these past years since Feb 29, 1988. How are you?
I'm great. This is such a treat.
It's a treat for me.
Right?
And we might as well get into one. You were kind of hinting around at it. What is this?
What is this? That is the best response I've ever seen to a little kid hugging.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That could have been so sweet.
Oh my gosh.
Yep, that's Tony's little girl.
Oh my gosh.
What is this?
That's an endorsement if ever there was one.
Boy, it is.
I want to do it doesn't have the alliteration, but Levi's explosion.
Levi's love explosion.
There we go. I did bring a prop, and I'm surprised that nobody's noticed this yet because my hamstring looks like it's about 7 feet back.
Whoa.
He's going to pull it out.
All right. We are going to have Levi's love explosion.
God, look at that.
Like I kind of noticed his foot was set off a little bit.
That's
weird,
the weirdest
but-
thing that's ever happened on your Dark Companion.
I realized
So-
there's
I knew somebody was going to notice it, so I brought a gift. So if you guys want this for decoration,
Oh my God.
We
From my
always
Halloween
want
costume.
decorations.
We did.
yes.
My Halloween costume was Adolis El Zombie Garcia. I did a little. It's terrible painting. I'm not.
Oh,
like,
crap.
that's awesome. What are you talking
but
about?
that I was pretty proud of. And when I played, you
Just
can see
pulled it out
like
of his
the
pants.
paint began to like. It actually looks more like a zombie bat.
Yeah.
So this is a gift for
All
you.
right.
Wow.
It's been digging into my ribs for this whole conversation, and I was like,
I know
was
you're glad
waiting.
to be unburdened from this.
I was waiting for a smooth transition where I could be like, actually, but it hurt. I needed to take it out
It's
of my
like,
pants.
wait, when did you have that in you?
He had it the whole time.
When I got
No,
out of my
like,
car.
Okay, I was wondering about that.
I like limped up to the house.
Yeah.
Hope nobody
Like-
sees me.
I know this is walking a little
he's
weird
been
too,
sitting
but
here with this, that in the back of his
I've
leg,
been
and I
sitting like
didn't
this
know.
the whole time, just like leaned
Okay,
over it.
I was kind of wondering why you were sitting funny, but I wasn't going to say anything.
Yeah.
Really? Y'all, I could not have been the only one that noticed.
No, you definitely were the only. I noticed he was sitting weird, but you're the only one that
I
noticed
was-
he had
Well,
something.
I was
see his
careful.
pants,
I was
so-
careful to like not face anybody, and at some point you were the only one on one side of the room, and I'm like, well, she's gonna know,
Yes,
but
and
everybody
I
else.
did.
I'm trying
Oh my
to keep it
gosh.
secret.
And when you
That
walked
was
past
amazing.
me and I followed you, and I went, "Why?"
Yeah.
But we'll find out.
Is that
Yeah.
a? Is,
Why is he
yeah.
walking like the penguin?
It's so great.
Like a pimp.
Because
Yeah.
I wanted to just surprise you guys with a baseball bat.
El
amazing.
zombie.
Man, I
That's
don't
pretty
even-
awesome.
Yeah.
Ever plan to motor west? Jack, take my way. It's the highway that's the best. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it winds from Chicago to LA. 42,000 miles on the way. Get your kicks on Route 66. Well, it goes through St. Louis, down through Missouri. Oklahoma City looks oh so pretty. You ought to see Amarillo and Gallup, New Mexico. Flagstaff, Arizona. Don't forget Winona, Kingman, Barstow, San Bernardino. Would you get hip to this timely tip? And take that California trip. Get your kicks on Route 66.
To read and watch and listen to.
You could always tell that this guy's personality was just too big for the camera. You know,
It might be the hair. It could be the hair a little bit
Which-
too.
that was
You
a
know.
part of it.
Yeah.
That was a part of it.
Yeah.
Rico says his hair is real.
It is real. A lot of people ask me about that. It is real, and it's blonde from the mother's side, the father's side, and a little from Parac's side. So, no, I get that all the time, and it was funny. We'd work with all these bald guys, or guys going bald.
Yeah.
Think about it. The Mike Bassics of the world,
Right.
and Ludwig and all them, and I'm like, well, what do you want me to be bald like those guys? I mean, you got to balance the set when you're doing that kind of stuff. So. I don't know why it was such a big deal, but people. There was a woman in Houston when we were doing the Houston Astros in the early days.
Yeah.
Pregame and postgame and all that. And she was a hairdresser down in Houston, and she was convinced my hair was fake. And she was like, you just need to come down here and let's work with you. I can get you a better toupee. And I'm like, it's real. So when we were down there for the Super Bowl, we did a whole bit with her in her salon, and she's pulling on it, and she had people just to make sure it was real. And she's like, I guess it is real, you know? So it's amazing how much of a topic that was. Not about what I actually did on TV. It was more about my hair, you know? So,
well, I mean, it's the first thing that jumps out at you.
Yeah.
When you see you on TV, once you get around the bombastic personality a little bit, it's the first thing you notice.
Yeah.
And you got it working today.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah. Hey, I can do a really good mullet, man. You know, I can really do I had a great mullet in the 70s and the 80s. There's no doubt about that, with the earring, which my mom ripped out.
It's on TV.
No, I haven't seen a soap opera in a really long time.
Either I'm looking at the TV at the wrong time, or it has completely become something that it didn't. It's not the guiding light my mom used to watch, right? So we should play. So this was a voicemail that we got when I worked in Kansas City. We interrupted programming for something, and I guess it was a space shuttle launch. It's been years. I don't remember. You never interrupt programming that people want to watch. And I was trying to think, why is this woman so upset? She's really mad, right? That we cut into her soap opera. And based on what they just said, I think I understand why. Do you know?
I'd like to know why you're preempting my soap operas for something stupid like the middle chase on Friday and then the stupid space shuttle today. I would appreciate if you keep the soap operas on, you fucking son of a bitch!
Boy, she's pissed.
She was not happy.
Woo! Golly, she was mad.
Do you miss Blockbuster?
Yes, I do. Well, yeah, okay. Yes, I do miss Blockbuster. Do you remember when Blockbuster Music used to let you listen to CDs?
Yes.
Where you bought them?
I do.
So I was there at the beginning of that thing. And so that was like when I didn't work there, that was like my Friday nights. I had no friends. So I just go there, I just get a stack of CDs and piss off the person there and sit there for 3 hours not buying anything and just listen to like 70s soul music. They're like, okay, I don't like that one. I don't like that.
But they did love you.
But then I worked there and it was just the best job ever. I mean, my actual job before I started doing stand-up when I graduated UNT.
By the way, that was the red herring.
The Blockbuster thing. Yeah. I brought so much PTSD back.
Well, my parents always had my daddy was an entrepreneur. So he had like a shoe store called the Shoe Place. He had a car business called the Car Place. He had, when Urban Cowboy was a big movie, he saw what was happening. So he opened a Western wear store called Go West in the Florence Mall. It had a jingle and everything. Would you like to hear it?
I'd love to hear it.
Get ready for greatness. We got hats and belts and boots, jeans and shirts and Western suits, all the finest Western wear. Go West. Go West. We got the finest Western wear. Go West. Them good old boys gonna treat you well. Go West. Don't settle for less. Go West. And then my daddy'd come in. That's Go West in the Florence Mall. Let us bring out the cowboy in you. So I worked there, selling cowboy boots.
What were those three
Mr.
songs?
Brightside, Living on a Prayer, and Fight for Your Right to Party.
Okay. All right.
So
now I got to ask you about Mr. Brightside, because that is a song that, and this is going to make me look the fool. So guilty as charged. But I am completely, totally unfamiliar with that song. That song has just somehow, you think that's funny? The peanut gallery's laughing at this. That song has somehow just flown right by me. And I mean, I can't tell you one thing about it. And I still don't think that I could pick it out of a group of three songs that are, kind of similar to it.
yeah.
How did you arrive with that? Is it just a bigger song than I think?
I think it's I think it's a bigger song than you think, but also I've heard that from other Stars fans. Like, they're like, dude, I've never heard this Mr. Brightside song. Yeah, it's happened. Like, a bunch of fans have come up to me and they'll be like, yeah, I know Living on a Prayer. I know, I'll do a Take on Me, sing along. They're like, we know all of these, but where's Mr. Brightside from? And I'm like, how do you not know Mr. Brightside? Like, it's The Killer's most popular song. I don't know if it's their best song, but it's definitely their most popular. And, like, I remember in college, that song coming on in the bar and people just going crazy singing it. And so I was like, weddings, everything. Like, so I was like, okay, I think this is gonna work. Like, I knew Living on a Prayer was gonna work because I mean everybody knows that song, and once you get to the second period, third period, and everybody's had a few cocktails, and you get to that, oh, like people are just gonna belt it. I knew that. But Mr. Brightside, and that's always like kind of an anxious part of this part of my job is I try sing-alongs and I don't know if they're gonna work because you don't know until you try it, right? Like, there's no way to test out like, hey guys, like if I put a tweet out like, hey, how many of you guys know the words to Mr. Brightside? Like, I don't know who that is gonna be at the AAC, so.
I may have Cher doing Led Zeppelin for you by the end of the hour. Let's
Excellent.
get that.
Gosh.
Excellent. Always like that.
Mike's like, okay, whatever.
Can we just end the show now?
No real appropriate way to respond
to that. I don't have any idea how he's going to pull that off,
No.
but okay.
It's something.
Hey, mama's in a way you move on. Hey, well, gonna make it real.
Something like that. Just that's kind of spitballing.
Share way to heaven.
Kind of never realized Cher was one of your targets.
Cher having a stroke. That's my impersonations.
One of the things they called a team, and this goes back to Hitch. A lot of this is going to go back to Hitch. Because if I heard him do it once, I heard him do it 1,000 times, and I can't think of how often you must have heard him refer to the team as our group.
Group. Yeah. We got a lot of good guys in our group here. And, and I said, group? How do you mean by group? Well, the team. Why don't you say team? Well, because it's our group. Why don't you just say team? Well, team's the same thing. Well, why are we saying group then? Because it's a group. Okay, fine. So I collected all of this kind of stuff over the years, and I got a lot more of it. And the thing about the NHL is, there's so much Canada in the game, and Canada believes it's their game, or North America in the game. 31 of the 32 general managers are North American. 2/3 are from Canada. They're all about the same age. You wonder why things are done. They keep getting done and they keep getting done. Old coaches get recycled. New voices are hard to get in, all of that. That's why. And so I'm kind of poking fun at the whole system that's created this weird lexicon that I don't even know they think about when they say stuff. I heard, here's another one. He's not your typical Russian. Say that again? Well, he's not your typical Russian. What do you mean by that? Well, he's a nice kid and he plays hard and he plays the right way. I said, and I've heard this from coaches and GMs, and every time I say, do me a favor, will you? Don't repeat that to anybody else.
Now, you just mentioned another one. Plays the game the right way.
Plays the game the right way. Born in Canada.
A face in the crowd. You were just a face in the crowd, out in the street, walking around. A face in the crowd. A face in the crowd.
One thing that they really wanted to know was what's up with the mustache look. I knew you were going to do that. I knew this is something you didn't want to get into, but I had enough people.
I don't mind at all.
I had enough people say, "Hey, man, why didn't you ask him about that?" So, okay,
just boredom. I'm not making any kind of statement. I just started growing it, and I thought, let's do it this way. Let's trim this. Well, let's not trim this. And next thing you know, this is what I got. It's like I quit cutting my hair. And my hair's pretty long. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, my hair's pretty long.
Well, let's see it.
Now I'm bald in
Wow.
front.
Wow.
But, you know.
I had no idea you were working with that.
Yeah, how about that?
All right.
All I need is a bunch of cats.
Well, you're letting your freak flag fly these days.
And there's no reason on that, on letting this hair grow. No reason on that whatsoever. I'm just doing it just because.
What is in front of us today? We are joined once again by our longtime cohort and stalwart of your dark companion. That is Grego, the great Grego, Greg the Hammer Williams.
Hello.
Hello.
And how are you doing today, Rhines?
I'm doing just fine today.
We're off to a start.
Okay. Already made me lose my shit. Huh? Not even 2 minutes into this thing.
Kind of did half an
So
hour
you're
ago,
going to blame
too.
that on me?
Yeah.
Why? What'd I do?
You were just you, Greg.
No,
you were just you, and I can't stand it. I can't handle it. Now, you will know Grego's done stuff with his mustache. A lot of people have talked about your mustache every time you've been on here.
Right.
And you have gone to some rather great lengths to get it doing what it's doing today.
You think they'll talk about it today?
What?
You think they'll talk about it today?
Yeah, I'm sure they will. They always do.
But see, speaking of Becca, this is all her idea. Because I was going to get rid of all of it. You know, because I got rid of my hair. Remember how long my hair was?
Yes.
Gone. Thank God. No more product I have to buy. Got tired of buying cream rinse. But I was gonna shave it all off. She goes, no, make it into like a handlebar. Well, that's like a month ago. And I'm like, okay, all right, I will. And then I had to save it for this. So enjoy it, because this is probably the only time I'll be sporting it.
I doubt that.
What do you think?
I like it.
A lot of maintenance, though.
It's a lot of maintenance, but it's worth it.
Is it?
I think so.
You think I can get the women with it?
Yeah, I think you can.
You think I can?
I think
women
bet
like
on
to.
that.
Think women like to swing on this mustache, Ashley? What do you think?
Swinging on the handlebars.
That's kind of what they're there for. You know?
For grip.
For grip?
Yes.
I thought it was supposed to be a seat.
Yes,
Hi, Grego.
yeah, it's not about me.
We're game to have him. It is the one and only Grego.
I don't know that you're going to want me today, though. I don't
Why?
know. I'm just not in a good mood. Just not in a good mood.
What's the matter?
Just all kinds of stuff. But I'm not. No.
What?
See, I've
What?
already hijacked the show, and I shouldn't even have said that. But I want.
But you did.
I want to be honest.
So what's wrong?
Well, I've just got problems.
Maybe we can help.
Well, and you know what the problems are. Now, matter of fact, that too, Groove.
I knew it.
Right on the target. Yeah. I am so pissed off about this DirecTV
Oh, yeah.
that I can't see straight.
Yeah, I am
And I
too.
should not bring that to your podcast. That's my problem. That's an MP. That's my problem.
It's my problem too. It's everybody's problem. Everybody who turns on, in my case, Channel 8 and sees that mommy and daddy are fighting again. And I put it out there the other day. Tell me what I need to do. I'm ready to get out of the DirecTV stream. If it's going to be this way, then I'm thinking I want out. So what should I do? And I've heard about Fubo and UFO and Bozo and this and that and all kinds of shit. And I just can't get my head around going to something like that. The thing I like about DirecTV and the DirecTV stream is that I've had DirecTV for years. I know it. I'm familiar with it. I understand it. And, you know, so they're streaming it now. So what? I don't care. Just give it to me. You know, I like it. I like it as is. And I don't know about these other new things, but it looks like I'm going to have to learn about them.
Well, you and I got DirecTV on the same day because we were one of the first people in this whole area to have that when they first started
That's right.
when they first brought the whole concept of the home satellite system. And I've had it ever since, the same account. Since I think it was either 98 or 99. But I've got the same account. I just moved it around wherever I moved. And I like it. And I understand all the warts on it. I understand it's way too expensive. I get that. Yeah, it is. I understand I got to have that dish. Okay, all right. Well, now you got the streaming. Well, you haven't sold me on that yet. But it fits me. And everything's right there. It's all in one. If I want to buy something, I can. If I don't want to watch something, I can block it out. It's convenient. And I don't want to change it. But damn it, you can't be blocking my ESPN. I need ESPN during football season. If you want to take it away the rest of the 6 months, go ahead. I'll concede. See, look what I'm willing to concede for DirecTV. Concede money, time, effort. Do you know the absolute scorn I get for DirecTV? People look at me like I'm T-Rex roaming this earth. And, you know, I got to put up with that, but I'm willing to.
Well, what you ought to do is just go to the stream. I mean, there's really...
I'm going to have to.
There's really no difference.
I'm going to have to.
I mean, if you can handle DirecTV, when I went to the stream, I found very little different about it.
See, here, the thing is that I've been going to go to that stream for probably 2 months, and the only reason I haven't, laziness. I just haven't gone to the store and done it and picked up the device and gone through all that. Just haven't wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about doing it, but now I'm wondering, you know, do I want to stay in this? And I'm really, for the first time ever since the 90s, that I'm actually thinking about getting out of DirecTV. And I don't want to.
Yeah, I am too. I don't know where I'm going to do because I'm off put by most of the stuff that has been suggested to me, even though I know I shouldn't be. But hey, I'm an old guy. I don't like change. I don't like young people. I don't like change.
You think I'm going to disagree with him? I'm right there in the boat with him rowing. You know, I thought the odds were very good that I would be the most outrageously dressed person today. And you people, what are you got going on over there? I mean,
what this?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, it's not mine. I can tell you that.
I mean, you look like you're going to a quilting bee.
The conditions
Or
warrant.
you might be an arc welder.
The conditions warrant.
And not only that, you got on a cap. I can't tell you how distracting that is.
Yeah, I know it's a little bit jarring for me to be capped.
So I'm just really put off by you. And then I look over here, and we got the gay brothers over here.
Hey.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. You understand, Greg?
Indeed. I
But look at
understand.
you. They're dressed the same, Rhines, in black, and they've got a little cover. They got them a little black shawl.
Yeah, they're sharing it too.
It's comfy.
Good grief, what have I wandered into?
There could be some hinges going on underneath that thing.
You know, I started to take a load management day today.
Just,
so to speak.
You know, from back to back. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I started to take a load management day. And you throw this on me. But I'm going to have a good time. I'll tell you that right now. And by the way, for everybody out there, no, we're not going to have a drug test off, okay? All right, we're not going to have that here, okay? We're not going to do that. I know that'd be a good idea if we went in there and
That'd
peed
be
in
a
a
great
cup.
idea.
Peed in a cup and see who positive. I know that'd be funny, but we're not going to do it, Groove.
We don't need
okay?
to do it.
I told you once, Groove. You came up with that idea, and I said no.
Yeah. What was the question again?
And I always
And he wore
worked in.
baseball caps.
Always, yeah. So this baseball cap phenomenon, I feel like I started it.
Whoa.
I really do, Groobs.
Okay.
I feel like I started this whole damn thing.
I don't know if you started it, but you certainly popularized it.
Yeah. And
You took it next level.
And so here I am now with my stupid bald head. Is the video element getting that? And I've got my ponytail, you know.
I didn't realize the ponytail.
Yeah.
The couple
isn't it-
times I've seen you.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? Oh, man. If you get some scissors, I'll cut it off.
Whoa. I bet we can find
Oh,
some.
man. Are we live?
Yeah.
God, I popped off, didn't I? I said that.
You did pop
Now if
off.
somebody comes up with scissors, I'm going to have to cut it off.
I can say, Vaughn's probably got some. Ashley's probably got some ready to stab us.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
Let's move on and hope somebody brings some up.
Yeah.
That way we'll know that A, somebody's listening to us.
Mm-hmm.
B, it puts Greg on the spot.
That's always fun.
You got to deliver the goods if it happens, man.
I made 10 Whataburger this one.
Don't panic. Don't back out.
I don't know. You know, maybe I would. I don't know. I don't know why I let it grow to begin with. I have no idea. We've been through this before. I have no idea. There's no reason. There's no reason to have it or not have it.
What if we do this? Somebody brings scissors up, you cut it,
and you eat 10 Whataburgers.
Man, I couldn't eat a half a Whataburger, but so that's 10. So.
But there was a time.
Oh, there was a time. There was a time. You know what? And I didn't get credit for eating 4 that day. I mean, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
It's not 10. I popped off and said 10.
Singles or doubles?
But 4 is pretty good. Oh, they were just singles groups. You trying to embarrass
I'm
me
still
for
impressed. I just want to see just the degree of difficulty.
Look, I would have given you all the credit in the world for eating 4, but you said you could eat 10.
And you know what, Ryan? I'm not letting you off this because you thought I could too.
Yeah,
you were kind of right there with me.
I don't know if I thought you could so much as I was pulling for you to.
Yeah, wanted to see the result.
Yeah, I just wanted the better story, whatever form that might take.
I'm all for the good story. So anyway, I made a tactical error on my headwear. So everybody's gonna have to dial. Where's Ashley? Do I need some powder on my head where my head doesn't shine?
Remember Alarm Gate?
No. Was I there for that?
My gosh. 15. Every 15.
Yeah, that was not funny. You're doing the telling here, not me.
Is this once again on the road?
I'm on the business end of this.
All right, we're on the road, and we're in Port Charlotte, Florida, and we're staying at a place called the Days Inn, which was the best hotel in town. And we were happy to stay there.
And
were you there for spring
Rangers
training?
Spring training.
And it was one of those old-timey motels where you open to the outside.
And Port Charlotte is a town built around the retiree. And that's mainly what populates that place. The place is built for and around them. And it just so happened that the Rangers had spring training down there for a good while.
So on the trip, it was me and Rhines and Corby and Danny. So Rhines and I are rooming, and Corby and Danny are rooming. And so one night about 2 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden we hear this beeping sound in our room. Couldn't figure out what it was. Rhines goes, I don't know what it is. So we start looking around, and we find a alarm that went off. It was kind of hidden. It still didn't dawn on us. We're like, oh, okay, whatever. Didn't dawn on us at all. We thought somebody might have left it up from the last person that stayed there. And so 15 more minutes, another one goes off with a different tone. And we're like, okay, what's going on here? About 4 or 5 times this went off, and we keep finding these alarm clocks everywhere. And so what they'd done is gone to Radio Shack and bought, I think there was 9 total, and set them to go off at all different times. And they were recording us, our response to everything. They were everywhere. They were up under the mattress. They'd cut the box springs and put it up in the mat. It was good.
It was incredibly well executed.
How did they get in your room in the first place?
Well, I'll tell you how they got in the room. Well, no, I won't tell you how they got in the room, but I'll tell you how I got in their room.
And this was payback for when you got in their room because you went in with the ski boot, right?
No, they started it.
Yeah, they started
it with alarms. See, they attacked us. Those bastards attacked us. We didn't do anything. We're minding our own business in our own room with our chamber prepared, right, Rhines? We ain't bothering a soul.
Right.
And they come in and attacked us. I ain't letting that go.
Squared away for the night.
I ain't letting that go. So we're at the stadium, and I told Rhines, I said, I'll be right back. So I go to a local fish market, buy a couple, I don't know what they were, but they were stinky and they were ugly looking. I bought a bunch of shrimp and some minnows. Then I got all this stuff, and I knew what I was going to do. I was going to bomb their room with fish. And so I had to figure out.
And not the sorry fish.
But I only had one problem. How do I get in their room? Simple. This is how secure this place was. There was a maid working there, and I said, I left my key, let me in. She let me in. Very elaborate. And
That was elaborate.
And I went in there and I put stuff everywhere. In their bed, just everywhere. I came back and told Rhines, and we know what's going to happen. And so we go back and we're kind of standing at the door, and they open that door, and all of a sudden, God Almighty! It smelled like a tuna cannery in there.
We just stayed down there. And,
I guarantee
that's what
people thought we were gay that day. I guarantee you they did. If they didn't think we were gay that day, they did the day that we were walking down Miami Beach fully clothed.
We were outliers that day, too.
And why were we doing that? Looking for topless women.
Hey, kids, it's me, Mike Rhyner, wanting to just bust in for a second here. Thanks for tuning in to Best Of while we're enjoying a little downtime. And I also want to remind you that you can take a spin through the Sunset Lounge at patreon.com/Sunset Lounge DFW for free. Yes, I said free. Check out all the shows, Shippy and Grooves, The Clubhouse, Beer 30 Sports O'Clock, The Ingle Angle, and our newest offering, Al Maximo. It's all waiting for you while you're killing time getting ready to put together that new stationary bike, which is going to turn into a place where you throw your dirty shirts and dirty pants over before long anyway without you ever even using it. You know that. We know that too.
That's what I'm doing right now.
But now let's continue with more of me and Shoopy, but mostly me.
It is interesting, though. Let me ask you this. I thought of this on the way over here because this is something I don't know that you and I have ever gotten into, but the idea of the performer's role in that relationship. Whenever you go to see someone perform, are you bringing your expectations to fore, wherein this person is there to entertain you?
This is an excellent question. This is an excellent
road
to go down.
This is something I think I've wrestled with a bit. Like I've been on stage before, and I'll have I'll have my phone kind of somewhere nearby, and I'll get a text at some point from the manager who's out there in the audience saying, "Why aren't you smiling? Smile." And I'll be like, like that feels really lame to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand what the intent is, but it's like, let me present this to you and see what you think. So years ago,
If they did that to me, I'd just tell them, "Sap, smile."
Yeah, right. So years ago, we were playing. We had a residency with the King Bucks down at Adair Saloon every Monday night. And we'd close the thing down, and it'd be a packed house. It was like service industry night. So all the folks who'd been working all weekend at the bars and stuff had a little money to throw around. They'd come out on Monday nights and get their honky-tonk on. They'd be lively and dancing, and the booze would be flowing. And so I remember after one gig, it was like this lady who was a freelance writer for I guess it would have been the Observer at the time. And she wrote a review of a show of us on a random Monday night. And the way that the article went, as I recall, was, "I have seen the entertainers of the world. I've seen Sammy Davis Jr. I've seen Barbra Streisand. I've seen Tommy Tune. Those were entertainers. What I saw, what I witnessed at the Adairs with this honky-tonk group was not entertainment. They weren't entertaining me. They were just sitting there playing these songs." Now, immediately my mind is thinking, well, what do you expect out of a honky-tonk group? Are we supposed to be doing scissor kicks and, backflips? I mean,
As you were telling that story, that's exactly what I thought.
Right. I mean, and I think King Bucks at the very least put a little kick in the songs. We had Chris Carmichael, the great Chris Carmichael on drums in those days, who was really a rock drummer. So after every gig, there'd be someone coming up saying, "I don't even like country music, but you guys are all right." And that to me was pretty cool. So we all kind of had this agreement amongst us as this comment thread following this lady's review was just billowing out of control. Like everyone was weighing in for better or worse. And we were all like, we're not going to comment on this lady's review. I mean, she's comparing us to Engelbert Humperdinck or whatever. I don't know what she expects. And so finally, after this went on for weeks, the great Joe Butcher finally weighed in, and he had this comment that he put on there, and he said, with all due respect, ma'am, I'm not here to perform for you. You're coming to witness me perform. Meaning I'm not here for you. If you don't like it, then you don't have to come back.
Yes.
But you are witnessing me do my art. Like every night, my solo will be different.
Right.
I'm constantly trying out new things, exploring where this song can go. And
he's not there to meet your expectations.
Right. And so the idea of whenever you go see a band and they're not smiling, they're not actively engaged, it's like, okay, well, so this is a different type of performance. This isn't that. It's not, Rod Stewart reaching out and grabbing hands and, squeezing boobs or whatever he does. This is witnessing a performance. And to me, if the band is focused on what they're doing, I find that much more compelling because it tells me that they're invested in what they're exploring the space, they're figuring it out.
That's what I want.
Right.
And you got a new book here. This is not your first book, but it's the current book. Is that right?
That's correct. It is called The Body Brokers, and it comes out December 3rd. And it's about a lawyer, as I'm a lawyer, who finds his girlfriend dead of a fentanyl overdose, and his journey to prove she was murdered kind of takes him into the belly of the beast. And there are many challenges along the way to prove it, and his life is in danger.
Just for the record, I don't believe that if you were to go out and buy a copy of the book, it would come with all these tabs. But I could be wrong about that.
Well, at least I know there's one person that's kind of read it.
Yeah, very essential person.
It is a giant slab of bacon on a stick, which feels state fair required, doesn't it? Yes and yes, bacon stick. So then this guy, and he's won a lot of Big Text Choice Awards. His name is Isaac Russo, and he's just a state fair pro. And he takes the big slab of bacon and coats it in cotton candy, pink cotton candy, like the fluffy stuff, and then takes a blowtorch and blowtorches the cotton candy so that we all know what happens. It turns into sugar, which then melts down the bacon. And so what you get is a big piece of meat on a stick with sugar on it. And it is, Mike, so good. It's so good.
I think me and Shuby had completely opposite reactions.
I think Mike hates it, and I think Groobs loves it.
Look at me.
I like it too.
Sarah, you just have to understand. And I know this is probably not going to make me a favorite in your book, but when it comes to food units, I am extremely in the center of the mainstream, straight ahead. I don't like fringy stuff, and that's just me.
It can be good. I get met Groobs through social media, and this is the first time in real life we're meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I feel like I've known you forever.
I know, we're best friends
it's
now,
just the weirdest feeling. I feel like I know everything about him, but I just meeting him for the first time.
Is he everything you thought he would be?
A little less, to be honest.
That's fair.
He can disappoint.
Yeah.
I'll do that. But I've got the Riz to make up for it.
I don't want to tell your viewers this, but he brought up my dead dogs the very second we sat down.
Groobs.
Can you believe that?
Shoopy.
And your dead mom, too, I believe.
And my mother.
Yeah.
Who passed away in 21.
I laughed maniacally.
Yeah.
But then you did, too. And that was kind of weird.
But, I'm going to... it's all right. I'm going to forgive you this time.
That's fair.
I think it's a weird thing to bring up the first time you meet somebody. But,
Hey.
Most people ask me about the weather.
No.
Not Groobs.
I'm just Kool-Aid man. I'm going to barge right through that wall.
So there's that.
Yeah.
This is
You
already
ever get
gotten
tired
off
of
to a
that?
great start.
Ever
y'all.
get tired of do what?
I said this has gotten off to a great start.
Mm-hmm.
It really has.
You're welcome, everybody.
I feel great about it so far.
Well, so Skip says, I need to get you on phone with the people who are involved with this. And so I don't know, it couldn't have been more than 20 minutes later. You, Spence, and Jeff Dunbar, you're on the phone.
Yes.
And we're talking about this. And say, hey, I'm in. Let's do it. And so I had a guy who got with Spence, and they did the deal. But then there's one more story that goes with this. So the Cowboys come to Philadelphia. It's Halloween night. But the night before, I had invited Brad Sham and his wife to our house in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, where we were living.
Now, Brad was doing Cowboys radio back then.
Yes,
so
he
the
was.
Cowboys are up there for Philadelphia. Brad is there. And you invite him over for what you thought at the time would be just a social occasion.
Well, I knew I had already.
Yeah, I mean, when you invited him.
Right. But so I'd already signed the deal. I signed the deal to come to the ticket. Nobody knows because nobody knows anything. And I see Craig Miller and Grego are on the trip.
Mm-hmm. They're both working for KRLD and WBAP, respectively.
So,
and keep this in mind as we go through this story. When we first started putting the ticket together, rule number freaking 1 was don't tell anybody about this. Don't tell anybody anything. Tell only those who you absolutely have to tell. If you got to tell your wife, tell her, but don't tell anybody else. Mm-hmm. And somehow we were able to adhere to that.
So I've done the deal. I show up at the Cherry Hill Hyatt, and I'm going to take Brad back, but I'm going over early because I want to see Craig and Grego, and go up on the I think it was in Craig's room. And we break out champagne glasses and we clink. we clink them. And it was phenomenal. So we do that. I get Brad. I take him back to my house about less than 10 minutes from the hotel. And, well, I had already taken the job. And I had already put my house up for sale. I had to take the for sale sign out of the ground. I was going to put it in the garage. Makes sense. Except that it was pouring that night. It was pouring like the end of the world was coming. So I literally had to put the sign on the side of the house away from the door so I could bring them in through the garage and have dinner. And we have a great dinner. How's Philly? Oh, they're treating me great, and all that. It's all good. And so then I think, and then the next day was the day that Emmett ran for 237 in the rain. And that was the game where Aikman was completely freaked out because it was raining like crazy. He couldn't throw the ball to save his life, and the whole thing with the wet ball with him. But literally, I want to say it might have been 3 or 4 days later that we broke it. We gave it to Barry Horn, and he wrote the story. And Brad calls me. He says, "You son of a!" It's like, really? I said, "Hey, I was sworn to secrecy. I could not say a thing. Could not say a thing." But and then the other part of that was truly great was telling Tom Bigby that I was leaving, because I had slowly but surely started taking stuff off my desk. And one day, and I guess sometime in the process, he comes to me and he says, "Hey," it was after that Cowboys game. He comes and he says, "Hey, you going anywhere?" He says, "Nothing on your desk." I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I am." and I told him about the ticket. He said, "Never make it. Ticket will never make it." He fashioned himself this expert on Dallas radio and whatever. Said, "Well, you know what? It may not make it, but it's worth it for me to go back and take the plunge and get back to a place where I really want to be, and people who really want me and wanted to do. We're going to allow me to do things pretty much the way I wanted to do them." And we just always agreed to disagree on a bunch of stuff, but it was great, and I gave him my 2 weeks notice right there, and by the end of November, I was back in Dallas, and we had some bumps along the way in December and early January, but then January 24th was a pretty magical day, Mike. Really.
And then we flipped that to Cock Rock, 93.3 The Bone. And that was some of the best ratings I ever had in my career. And I had to look myself in the mirror and say, hey, you went from doing cool alternative music that you've already embraced your entire life, and you're going to play Cinderella and Rat. Now, you can either put your foot down and walk away, or you can prove to people that you're a good talent no matter what format you do.
That you're a radio pro.
Yeah. And there was, the need to pay the mortgage and all that too.
Of course, there is.
At the time, I was selling sponsorships and was trying to sell Whataburger, and that's why I came up with the dot races. I was trying to sell a sponsorship to Whataburger, and it took me about a month or so to work something out to where it made sense on the video board, and we had a character generator, and it only had 8 colors, and I just picked red, blue, and yellow was originally. And this is an interesting story, Mike, because the ad agency at the time of Whataburger, we printed dots that fans received, and if you had that dot, you'd take it to Whataburger, get a free soft drink. Well, they printed. We're on Easter weekend. We're opening on Monday, and they printed the wrong color dot. They printed green, and all the races were going to be red, blue, yellow.
Yep.
And the guy called me and said, "Hey, we got the red, blue, and green dots." I said, "Whoa, we got a yellow dot." He said, "Oh, we printed green." And he said, I said, "Well, we can't change." I said, "We're all set here." And he goes, "You got to help me out here. You got to do something." So I said, "Okay." And I thought about it, called him back in an hour, and I said, "Yeah, I'll tell you what we can do. What we'll do on Monday night is the yellow dot will go down, and an ambulance will come out and pick him up and haul him off, and green comes on." So that's why we have red, blue, and green now. So that's. But no, it was just
that's an amazing story.
And here's the thing, Mike. That character generator back in those days would take about an hour and a half a day to make a cartoon of these dots racing to do the 3 laps.
Yeah.
And
today it probably takes about 3 minutes.
And I was such a
3 seconds.
I'm such a stickler. I would do a different race every day because my philosophy was, guy pays his money to get in, gets a different race every night. So I never did rerun any races like that. But that's how that came up. Sell a sponsorship.
So Groobs and Shoopy and maybe one other person from the Sunset Lounge all need to be the dots now. Yeah.
We can arrange that.
I want to see them running as the dots.
We can arrange that. Let's do it.
Coming soon.
Sunset Lounge dot race.
Yes.
At the ticket when he first appeared. And he showed up with a couple of things that most of the interns that we were running through there did not have. One was a very high level of intelligence, and the other was a math degree. Hence, he became Kevin the Exponential Intern.
That lasted for 1 day.
Later shortened to Expo.
Quickly shortened. Nobody wanted to say exponential.
Yes.
That's a beating to say.
It is
and it's funny because every time people ask me where the name comes from and I start to tell the story, without fail, they think they want to say, "Oh, I thought you exposed yourself to somebody at some time." Like, why would you think that?
Well, I thought of an expo marker.
I saw that in there. And I was always amused by that slight tinge of that sort of thing in there.
You were always amused by the fact that at least in those days, before I was in my 50s, that I would say anything to anyone at any time.
Yes, especially to women. He was known for saying anything to any girl at any time. He had no filter.
This is a record I really wanted people to hear from start to finish. This record saved my life. I needed this. You got to listen to the whole thing. It's a journey. You get something out of it, I promise. And it was perfect for wanting to put a visual interpretation of what we're trying to do here. So there's a lot of thought behind it, and it's for the soul is what we've realized, and so much more than just a visual trip. It's got something else going on.
Yeah, it hits you in a way that you realize that you're watching something that you probably didn't expect, something that you've never experienced before. It hits you in that kind of way. And I know this may sound crazy, but you probably don't realize that aspect of it until pretty well later in the night.
Yeah. What you think about candied apples?
I've never been a fan of candy apples, Groobs. They're too sweet. They fall off the stick. So I don't think I have ever bought a candied apple at a fair or a carnival or anything else. To me, an apple is what you pick off a tree and you eat it.
Can I just say one thing about this?
You better.
I like the concept of candied apples. Like, it looks appealing and looks like it might be, something worthwhile. But it becomes troublesome very fast. And it loses its allure for me very fast. And I rarely get all the way through one.
They're coming to America.
Look at him up there. You're our enemy.
You bastard.
Oh, sorry. Oh, God, excuse me. Sorry about that. Strain a little bit on that last note, Shoopy.
Told you, we got a mic on your chair.
Wow. Do you have somebody out there that you want to find something about? Somebody out there trying to pull the wool over your eyes, put one over on you? Then you need to find the house dick.
Put it this way. I don't think love will last forever in this case.
You don't think they're going to get married and have a lot of babies?
They might get married. They may have some babies. But, Michael, as you will hopefully not see but come to understand, sometimes love does not last forever.
I refuse to
Well, it
believe
sounds
that.
like it won't even make it to the state fair.
Yeah. Won't even make it to that
Sometimes
first
love
weekend.
doesn't make it to the state fair.
That needs to be
Yeah,
on a t-shirt.
can you clear it?
Whereas in 1994, we were burning ass. Just a lot of shit out there right now,
Ton, yeah.
We live in a world of shit, and there's a lot of it.
And part of the ideology of that is that the white man is the devil. So literally with these guys, I represent the devil, and I come walking into their space.
A lot of people have said that about me, too.
And Groobs.
Yeah.
Nothing good can come to me by rousting the paranormal.
Because I can usually tell a stripper when I come into contact with one just by the way she carries herself.
But I like my wiggly tough. I like him.
Yeah, I think I like mine too.
I'm looking over her bio, and when it comes to civic endeavors, charity type stuff, things like that, your resume would stun a mastodon.
Most of the time, you know what song they play?
What?
Oh
my God.
Is that Winter Wonderland?
Sleigh Ride, right?
Sleigh Ride.
Do you want to die? You want to die? I bet I could sing the shit out of that.
Prove it.
What are you doing?
What are you talking about? That was clearly your voice.
Well, that was clearly not me talking in real time.
How do we know that?
You were sitting right next to me. And besides, everybody can see that I didn't say that.
Oh, yeah. The video does add a different element with drops, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. It can tell. It can indicate right away what is and what is not.
Okay.
And that clearly was not.
I'll have you know I've not farted once today.
You did say that just now.
No, I didn't say that just now. I did not.
And it's definitely not true either.
I don't keep count on that sort of thing. It might be true, but then again, it might not. I don't know. Like I say.
Maybe.
I don't keep count.
Fair.
You've got reason aplenty for going. This I know, this I know. While the weeds have been steadily growing, please don't go, please don't go. Nor you going away with no word of farewell. Will there be not a trace left behind? Well, I should have loved you better. I didn't mean to be unkind. Well, you know that was the last thing on my mind. Well, you know that was the last thing on my mind.
Hang on a second. You're off put by the cheese?
He's not going to do that cheese.
You don't? Do you not? Where you stand on pimento cheese?
Not high.
Oh no. Cheese as a food group is very high in my life. I think cheese is perfect. I'm like often curious about the cheese situation any place we go. I'm just love cheese. Okay, well, that one's not for you.
Hold on. Can we please, though?
Don't worry about me. Worry about them out there.
I think we do need to take a moment, though, and have Shoopy say, was it hot chicken pancake poppers?
Yes.
I just need him saying that.
Yeah, do that.
We need that.
You want to drop
Yes.
here, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is how we do drops, folks.
Sometimes.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hot chicken pancake shit. Take 2. In 3, 2, 1. Hot chicken pancake poppers.
Did you see the latest thing that Rob Manfred is talking about?
Oh, yeah.
What do they call it? The golden shower or something?
Now that I'm interested in.
No, that I would watch. Now that I think
if they're going to throw that into baseball, then I'm interested.
They want to have a designated golden at bat.
Yes.
Oh, stop.
The golden at bat.
I love the pitch clock.
Yes,
I don't
they
know if the
needed
bigger
the pitch
bases.
clock.
Oh, that's it. I like the fact that you can't change pitchers every hitter.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of enjoyed that. I'd like stopping some of the mound visits for no apparent reason. I don't know that the bases mean a whole lot, but I still think they need to expand the strike zone and call basically just call the legitimate strike zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm tired of a ball coming right above the belt, and that's a ball, you know. But this concept, and I am in favor of, trying to maintain the sport, trying to bring in the younger audience. But a golden shower with a designated hitter? That's where I draw the line. That's where I absolutely draw the line.
That's where I draw the line.
Well, because that just pisses all over everything that baseball represents.
I mean, I can be as big a freak as anybody, but I draw the line there with a golden shower.
I mean, I just can't do it. I mean, I just can't put up with that. Now,
BB Rexa?
What?
BB Rexa?
No, not BB Rexa.
Who?
I'm just trying to make him laugh.
Who's BB Rexa?
That I'm Good song.
I'm sorry. Oh, he has a sister.
Yeah.
My goal is just to find a way to shoehorn this song in for
Oh,
every interview we do.
BB Rexa.
Yeah.
You know who she is. You just. I'm good, yeah, I'm feeling alright.
She what? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I must say I was a little bit taken aback when at the Freak we started going through my phone to see which songs I've been listening to a lot. And in the calendar year of 2023, I was rather shocked and somewhat dismayed, I will admit, to learn that I listened to this more than any other one.
That was the best reaction because
Really?
I think it was me, you, and TC. I think he was filling.
Yeah,
it that
yeah,
day.
TC
We're
was
sitting in the
there.
bullpen area at the Freaks studios, and you just all of a sudden start cackling, like I've hardly ever hear. Like, what the hell is going on, Shoopy? He's like, take a look at my Spotify #1 song, and we all just died laughing. Like this.
And this is legit. Like, as in, like, it wasn't like you was on repeat one day, and I like it.
No,
I the song.
I mean, I made a conscious effort to play this song. And
What is it about? What is it about this song that you like?
Well, the fact that
there was another song just like this that came out before it. And that was probably what I heard first, but then they took that song and made it into that.
About a little guy that lives in a blue.
This is like our childhood.
Yes, it is.
And
everything is
easy.
I can't remember the lyrics.
Like him.
Inside and outside, blew his house. Trying to remember. Is this what you anticipated, Mike? You ain't got nobody to listen to.
I'm blue, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die, dabba dee dabba die.
Do you remember this song?
Yeah, I remember this song.
Derives from your favorite song of this year?
Yes, apparently it does. I mean, if we're going by Spotify, apparently that is my favorite song this year. I don't know what it is about it, but once I would play it, I'd want to hear it again, you know? Sometimes I play it 3 or 4 times, and I can't explain this.
It's good vibes.
It is.
It's a party. It's party.
Yeah.
It's
great
good.
Yeah, but normally it's not the kind of thing I like. I like Deacon Blues by Steely Dan.
Steely Dan.
And you like blue. Dabba dee dabba die.
Yeah.
Something about that color.
How would you rank those 5?
The receivers?
Yeah, the receivers. I mean, I think there were 6. I'm high.
You are high. What did you take? What did you
He had a
take?
slushy. How many pumps did your slushy have?
I don't know, but pumpers like to pump.
What?
I was gonna say I got 3, and I'm feeling pretty smooth right
Come on
now.
in, madam.
but-
You can come in here.
What are these slushies?
Oh,
Can I get a 2 pump?
Jeff needs a 2-pump slushy.
Because you said you had 3 and you're feeling loopy. How many did you
Yeah.
have?
I must have had 2.
How many? I need help, please.
You probably need a 3 pump.
Can I get? What was her name again?
Summer.
Summer. Excuse me, Summer. Can I get Summer's attention, please? Summer, I have a question. Do you know how many pumps he had in his slushy? Can I get a 2 pump?
Nice.
Shoopy.
You got 3 pumps.
Can I get a 2 pump slushy? Because I'd like a little less than he had.
He's a 3
just to
pump
see.
chump.
Yeah, he's never seen me like this before.
Just a 2 pump. A 2 pump. I know Freak Jesus wants 10 pump, and I'm sure Raph wants 9, and I would like a 2 pump. What are we pumping in there? Is that Delta?
I don't know.
THC,
whatever
I
they give me,
guess.
yeah, THC or
You can't.
Right?
That's not legal, is it?
something.
CBD? I don't know.
We got research
But
we
it's-
got to do
it's
at the
working.
show. I need to figure out how I can get not drunk. Because I bet you it's less calories than me drinking 17 beers tonight, too.
You've had some kind of failures. I mean, you failed on seeing the Beatles.
Yeah, I've got some black marks in my past. I do. I did fail on seeing the Beatles.
What'd you go see? You went and saw Kimbo and
Hillcrest.
Kimbo and Hill.
Yeah. Yeah, the crazy thing about that is I was in junior high at the time. I had no business at a high school football game. You know, a lot of junior high kids would go to the Kimball games and everything, you know. But we didn't have any business there. We just kind of sit at the top of Sprague Field and huddle up and, you know, look at girls and stuff like that. We had no business there, you know. We were not a part of that scene, but no, to be cool in junior high back then, you had to try and invade that scene. So that night I did. And you know what I remember about it?
What's that?
Not one thing.
Nothing.
Not one thing.
And we're going to go ahead and count the time that you wore that tuxedo when you were playing drums that you refused to get altered and it was like 4 sizes too big. We're going to count that as a costume. Too.
Okay, you can count that as one. I stood my ground on that.
Boy, you did. That is stubborn right there.
He did not back down.
I'm proud of that.
When you are willing to put on a tuxedo, if they're going to make me put on a tuxedo, then I'm going to put on the only one I have.
Yeah.
And I wear a size 36 and it's a size 50.
Yeah.
And I'm going with it.
And my mother got it for me from a neighbor that lived across the alley from her. It was her oldest son's tuxedo. And she gave it to my mother, and my mother called me one day and said, Mike, do you still need a tuxedo? God. And I said, yeah, I still need a tuxedo. And she said, well, I think I have one for you. You want to come over here and try it on? So I did. And before I tried it on, she said, now I got this tuxedo from Bill, Joe's son. And I thought, oh, God, this is probably going to be really big. And boy, it was.
How big was Bill's son?
He probably went, I don't know, a good 240 or so, something like that.
Okay.
And I was probably in those days checking in at about 135 or some such.
Just a little bit of a size difference.
A little bit.
Did neither of the mothers involved think that might be a bit of a problem?
They probably did. They probably thought that. But,
But that wasn't the deal. The deal was he didn't want to wear a damn tuxedo.
Right.
Yeah.
And they were making him wear one.
That was
and
the
he said,
deal.
okay, I'll wear one.
Yeah.
And here it is.
Yeah.
And he's so stubborn that he's willing to look ridiculous to make this point.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I respect that.
I do too. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I was just curious.
I just wish there was. See, now, if somebody did that now, there would be all kinds of photo evidence.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you like to have a picture of you behind those drums in that big giant tuxedo?
I would.
I would too, because the sleeves on it were about like this. So I'm back there playing drums, and it looks like I've got sticks coming out of the sleeves because you can't see my hands.
Once again, willing to impede his drumming ability to make a point.
Yeah. Most importantly, I love you, Shoopy.
I love you too, Shoopy.
Shoopy! Did you hear there's a big sale at Half Price Books?
A big sale at Half Price Books?
A really big sale at Half Price Books.
Well, I'm not concerned about a big sale at Half Price Books unless it's a really big sale at Half Price Books. Are you sure?
I am so sure that I can tell you it's a really big sale for everyone, Shoopy.
You know, Shoopy, that's what we need. Because half-price books are for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So why should there not be a really big sale at half-price books for everyone?
It's a joy.
It is a joy. It's a thing, too.
Yeah. There's a really big sale at Half-Price Books.
Really big sale at Half-Price Books. Half-price books for everyone. Woo!
Yay!
I'm Reva Dirching. I'm going to take my pants off.
Can I watch?
Had a great
We
time.
had a great time with you, but you know what? I'm going to go take my pants off. And now, you know what I'm going to do?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Should we be scared?
Yes. Be very afraid.
Oh, I don't have the draw.
Oh, you don't?
He doesn't have the drop. No, it's mine.
And you're not going to play it?
Well, we're not live.
No.
You're gonna have to do it.
You got to do it.
Okay.
You've hyped them up. You've got to show them. You've got to do it for them.
All right.
I don't know what to expect right
What's
now.
getting ready to happen?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm going to take my pants off. Done. I'm Mike Rhyner. I'm going to take my pants off.
Oh. Oh, God.
We have to walk off. Right.
Whoa, shoot me.
What a hill.
I'm going to take my pants off.
Wow. That was the most dramatic one ever.
Well, there you have it. There is best of. If you want better, we don't have it. That is it. Best means best. And that is the best of Your Dark Companion. Shoopy, what'd you think about that?
That was pretty awesome, Shoopy.
What was your finest moment of the year? Your most fun moment? Your most memorable moment of the year?
Probably just getting to be with you every day. It makes me happy.
Oh, Shoopy.
Shoopy.
That's a lot of fun, isn't it?
It is.
That's why we do this, isn't it?
It's the most fun in the world.
It is the most fun in the world. So there you go. There's best of Your Dark Companion.
Gonna do it all again this next year. So be back here and join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
All right. I'm gonna go take my pants off.
Your Dark Companion is a Stolen Water Media presentation.